when I was trying to teach anybody anything, I would always use TIG welding as the metaphor. And I've always told people that probably the most important lesson I could ever tell anybody is that if you took TIG welding for an example, you're using the tungsten to melt the metal, and you're using the filler rod to fill and dip. I said, you know, you start off, you get the basic fundamentals of learning to weld, and you start out and you look at what you've accomplished, and if that's not what you're trying to get as an end result, you can ask somebody to come over and tell you what's going wrong and that. But if you do that, as opposed to analyzing it yourself and trying to make changes, if you say, well, that's not the end result I want, so I'll try by turning the amperage up and welding slower with higher amperage, and then you look at that and you say, well, that's not going the right way. Maybe if I turn it up and weld faster, or turn it down and weld slower, or I hold the tungsten closer or further away, and then you look and see if you're doing better or you're doing worse. If you want to be good at anything, you've got to become your own teacher and your own analyst. You've got to look at what you're doing and think, is that right? Is there a better way? Am I using the right amount of gas? You've got to question what you're doing, and you've got to constantly try to improve. And if you do that in one area and you have that kind of attitude, you can take that to virtually anything you attempt to do, and you'll probably end up doing a better job of everything you do. And then the other thing comes from studying and working and putting effort in. By you have to learn what filler rod to use with what materials, or what saw blade to use for different types of material you're cutting. That comes from reading, learning, talking to people, being inquisitive, and then actually doing it and checking the end results for yourself.